Let's be brutally honest. You clicked on this video because your life is a mess. You're probably staring at the screen right now in your sweatpants, surrounded by snack wrappers, wondering where it all went wrong. Well, my name's Jeff, and I'm here to help. I found myself knee-deep in a pit of procrastination, self-doubt, and questionable life choices. But I was able to turn it around, and if you're ready to take the first step and admit that you're stuck in the same miserable rut that I was, then maybe, just maybe, there's a chance to save something from this disaster. My lack of motivation almost spread like cancer. I thought about going to that network event, but I was too invested in binge-watching trash TV. One skipped assignment turns into a week of hiding under my comforter, ordering takeout, and blaming society. My diet became instant ramen and energy drinks, and hours vanished into TikTok and reality shows. I wasn't just failing, I was avoiding anything productive. Sound familiar? You're stuck in a rut, and it feels hopeless. For many of you, this repeated pattern of short-lived bursts of accomplishment followed by a terrible decline hits a little too close for home. It's a complex issue for sure, but I want to give you some quick, practical plans that really helped me to yank you out of the trap. I'm just Jeff, a humble cartoon stick figure handing out suspect advice on the vast wasteland of YouTube. Also, keep in mind, there's no quick way to fixing your miserable life. It'll take time, effort, a healthy dose of self-compassion, and 5 crucial strategies. If you're like I was, you're paralyzed by a crushing lack of motivation. You need something, anything, to spark you like a car that won't start. You need to start using the do something, anything principle to gain some momentum and get the ball rolling. This principle serves as a practical method for taking action even when you feel like absolute garbage. It's important to remember that it doesn't matter how small the action is. What matters is that you are doing something. Most people think motivation comes before action, but the do something, anything principle flips that. Action, inspiration, and motivation form a loop. You can start anywhere. It's more effective to act first, let the action spark motivation and inspiration. Now, I know what you're thinking. Seriously, Jeff? I don't feel like doing anything, and your advice is to just do something? Real groundbreaking wisdom there, goober. Hey, calm down and listen. You already take action without feeling motivated, you just don't realize it. Like, do you need a rousing pep talk to check your various social media feeds? No, you just do it. And I know that from experience. So harness those automatic routine actions and turn them to your advantage. If you find yourself trapped in the relentless cycle of self-pity that I did, literally get up and start folding your laundry or doing the dishes. They're small, constructive actions that have the potential to trigger larger, more meaningful improvements. Let me tell you a quick story. I was in a position where I had to compose a cover letter for a job application to be an art teacher. Instead of fixating on the size of the task, I told myself, I'll open the document, set a timer for 10 minutes, and brainstorm 3 marketable skills to highlight. Once I got the ball rolling, I felt more inclined to continue because I had already beat the first difficulty. That's the do something principle in action. To add to this, I made a list of some really small checkpoints that I needed to reach. In this instance, they were things like completing a short Google search to find a good template for my cover letter, then writing Jeff and the date in the template. Looking back, those tiny, almost laughable actions weren't just steps, they were game changers. Celebrating those small wins wasn't just helpful, it was the exact thing that pulled me out of stagnation and set me on a path to real progress. And I promise you, it can do the same for you. And don't get me wrong, I know this advice sounds counterintuitive. Reward yourself generously for accomplishing the absolute bare minimum. If you're anything like I was, you probably wince at the mere thought of celebrating tiny victories. I managed to brush my teeth today. I deserve a Nobel Prize. Yay! However, rewarding yourself even for the smallest of accomplishments is surprisingly beneficial. Let me explain. We have 2 sides of the brain. The impulsive one, let's think of it as a hard boss called Bingus that craves instant gratification, and the responsible one in the prefrontal cortex. The responsible brain uses the do something principle to outsmart Bingus, but it needs to give a little in order to take a little. If you're too lazy to do anything other than binge watch Netflix, and yet you somehow manage to use the do something principle to make your bed, put on actual clothes, and respond to a text from your mother before feeling completely drained, that's okay. At this point, you can literally take a break. You might feel a nagging sense of guilt that you should be doing more, and And I understand that. My advice though, just relax, recharge, and allow yourself some breathing room. Reward yourself for not actively hurting your own life for once, and try to savor it. Maybe order takeout from your favorite restaurant, treat yourself to a new video game, or watch that hilarious show everyone's been raving about. The point here is to avoid wallowing in guilt and self-pity when you're already feeling down. You don't want to reinforce the negative thought patterns that landed you in this mess to begin with. In the end, short bursts of effort might give you a temporary boost, but they won't help you break through the next level. There's one powerful thing, however, that can truly transform a person's life for the better, and trust me, I've seen it send people to incredible heights time and time again. The key to lasting change isn't about going all in overnight. It's about gradual, sustainable progress. Think of it like working out. Instead of overdoing it one day and quitting the next, aim for a steady progress. If you did 10 minutes of weights yesterday, try 12 today. Slowly build up a balanced, productive lifestyle. It's called progressive overload. Reward yourself for small achievements and compare yourself to the person you were yesterday, as opposed to some picture-perfect bodybuilding stick figure named Jeff on YouTube. For example, you could create a simple 7-day plan to crawl out of this deep, dark hole. That's significantly more realistic than attempting to become a productivity expert overnight. On day 1, if you can barely resist the urge to endlessly scroll through social media, then any productive action should be considered a major victory, right? Day 1 is all about accomplishing a little bit more and feeling reasonably good about it. Begin by jotting down a gratitude list of things you truly appreciate in your life, or by reaching out to a friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while. These seemingly small actions can make a significant difference in your overall mood and outlook. The key here is to take your time, be patient, and to remember that these things will not always come easily. You have to actively try in order to make these improvements. The next day, remind yourself that it wasn't as awful as you expected, and try to push yourself to do a tiny bit more. If you consistently repeat this process, both sides of your brain will eventually come to an agreement, and you'll slowly start to come out of that miserable state you find yourself in. The central idea here, though, and very importantly, is to avoid rushing the process. You want to steadily move your habits over time so that they ultimately become a part of you in your daily routine. And this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing either. Everyone progresses at their own pace, myself included. So just focus on improving at a rate that feels comfortable and sustainable for you. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't try to rush it. And as time goes by, you'll start to build momentum, which is great. However, there is a crucial element that can make or completely ruin this progress you've made, something that's vital for the long run. You see, when you've been stuck in a cycle of negativity, no matter how well you might be going now, it's so easy to relapse back to those feelings of self-blame and misery you started with. But here's the thing, you have the power to change your story for good, if you're able to shift your mindset to one focused on growth. Reframe failures as learning experiences. Instead of beating yourself up over a missed deadline, ask what you can learn. What would you do differently next time? A growth mindset turns setbacks into chances rather than faults. Additionally, try to imagine yourself succeeding. Imagine yourself achieving your goals and overcoming challenges, just as I envisioned myself in front of that art class. This imagining can boost your confidence and motivation, helping you stay on track. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Every small step forward is a step closer to your goals. And with the growth mindset in hand, there's only one final piece of the puzzle that you need, one that will make all the difference, a factor that can provide the motivation you need to truly turn your life around. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. It's a game changer. Whether it's a friend, family member, online community, or a stick figure named Jeff, a support network keeps you accountable and motivated. For instance, you could join a study group or a hobby club that aligns with your interests. Not only will you meet like-minded people, but you'll also have a structured environment to stay motivated and engaged. By connecting with others who understand your challenges, you can gain new perspectives and stay motivated. To further take advantage of your support network, consider setting up regular check-ins with your friends or family. This could be a weekly call or a monthly meetup. Having these scheduled interactions can help you stay on track and provide a sense of accountability. And to add to that, don't be afraid to come back to one of my seminars. If you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, you'll know when I'm here with more top-of-the-line advice. As your advisor and guide, I'll continue to provide useful ideas and plans made for your situation. That's my vow to you. By combining these strategies, you'll be well equipped to overcome your current challenges and achieve your goals. And please do take note, this isn't some easy fix. If you can manage what you think will happen, practice some self-compassion, and occasionally listen to the advice of that responsible brain of yours, there's more than a chance that things might actually improve. And who knows, maybe you can eventually stop being such a complete and utter mess. Look, struggling to get out of a slump is never easy, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. It all starts starts with taking that first step, however small, and keeping the momentum going for as long as you can. There will be setbacks, and there will be moments where you feel like giving up, but if you remain both consistent and persistent with it, you'll eventually reach your goal.